I know you parted ways with Eddie Chambers recently, and I asked Eddie the other day, I said, well, if Peter Fury has Huey Fury and Tyson Fury, how are they going to prioritize you? And all three of you are heavyweights. And he says there's space enough for all three of them. I wasn't convinced of that, and that's why I asked the question. What's your feelings on that?
I said what I had to say. I think that Peter can do it with the three fighters, you know. But Eddie Chambers is a low maintenance training. It's low maintenance training, Eddie Chambers, because he had a father who taught him the basics the hard way. You understand? Eddie Chambers is a master of the basics, and everything else that there is simply implemented by his character in his mind. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but I didn't interfere with it because he had other reasons for going there. So I mean, what was I to say? You want to make that move? It's on you to make the move, you know. But I don't criticize nobody. Go ahead and do it. But I'm calling it how I see it. I'm not an establishment yes boy for nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I call it the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? If a guy makes a move and he thinks that he can better his life, better his career, you know, by all means go and do it, you know?
So what do you think his motivations were deep down, or am I asking too much questions? Because I know you had a close relationship with him.
Well, you know, I mean, he needed a change of environment, you know. I think that will help him because where he was living at, you know, in southern New Jersey, everybody wanted something from him, you know. Everybody wanted something from him. So I think that change, when he worked with Tyson for the David Haye fight, I think they were getting along well. There were some conversations, and he accepted that conversation that Pete and them could help him, and he took advantage of it, you know. That, you know, I think you know, might have been some financial reward involved, you know, and I can't, you never know nothing until you walk a mile in another man's shoes. So I didn't interfere with it.
Yeah.
You know?
So
it's not the first person that made a change.
Yeah.
And it won't be the last person, you know? So
That's right.
I go on. Pardon me?
What do you think his prospects are moving back up to heavyweight?
I think that his prospects are good at heavyweight. I think that he outboxes most of the heavyweights that's out there now. I think that he can be in the top 10 inside of 15 months to 2 years. He can be right back there in the top 10. He's a dynamic talent, you know, and I think that he can be right back in that top 10. I think he can be back in the mix inside of 2 years.
I wish him the best.
As long as there's no setbacks, and I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be any setbacks. I can't see very many heavyweights out there that's going to be able to deal with Eddie Chambers.
I wish him the best. I definitely wish him the best. He's got the skill set. Let's hope. Hopefully Eddie can make the best of this move, you know? That's all we can say right now.
He's a boxing machine. The guy's a boxing machine. There's not very many heavyweights out there that has the boxing talent that Eddie Chambers has. Like I said, he's a low-maintenance guy. I trained Eddie Chambers for the Thomas Adamek fight, and he beat Adamek with one hand.
Yeah.
I felt that he won the decision. I felt it.
So did I.
You know? He beat him with one hand. I was going to stop the fight after the second round. I was going to stop the fight. I said to him that I'll stop the fight. I don't want to see you injured. He said, no, I'll do it. Because his adrenaline was up and he was going to get through the pain and do it. And I thought that he beat Adamek with the one hand.
I thought he won the fight too.
I think it was one of the better fights that he ever had. You know, he showed a lot of grit that night. He showed a lot of skill. But he lost the decision, you know. And
yeah,
this last guy,
the
African kid from South Africa,
Mchunu.
Mchunu.
Yeah.
Mchunu to me, you know, I mean, so everybody has an opinion. Mchunu to me is one of the boringest fighters I've ever seen. He's boring because he's got this safety first style. He wants everybody else to do the work. If I had told Eddie Chambers, stay back and box, the fans would have been throwing cups in the ring that night. So I told Eddie, you go forth and cut the ring off and try to make the fight. But I was doing that for the fans. I was mindful of we were on television. I was mindful of there's millions of fans watching this fight. Go and cut the ring off and try to make the fight. And the guy laid back and tried to counterpunch all night. He's fighting off his back foot all night. He's not coming forward. He's not doing anything to make the fight. He's a boring fighter. I just watched him fight again with another South African dude. He didn't do nothing. He just stayed back and counterpunched. So everybody else is making the fight. They're coming forward, doing the work, and he's sitting back slapping the guy, and outpointing the guy.
But isn't it down to you as a strategist in the corner to do everything that Eddie can win? And obviously you want to entertain the crowd, but the W comes first. So if that's the case, you'll have to take some of the burden for sending Eddie to come forward, because that's not Eddie's style.
Of course I'm going to take some of the burden. But I'm telling you, I did so. I saw what they were doing from the very first round. I could have said, Eddie, lay back here and pity pat with him. I could have told Eddie to stay back. I could have told him to wait back, But that's not the way to fight. That's not boxing. Get the W at any cost. You're right. Get the W at any cost. But for me, boxing is fighting. All right? Mchunu don't fight. He's not fighting. He's want everybody else to do the work, and he wants to pity pat and try to build up points and stuff. He's going to run into problems down the road. He's going to run into problems. That safety first style is not going to work with everybody. It's not going to work with everybody. Somebody's going to catch up to him, put the pressure on him, and they're going to bust him. Watch what happens. Remember, you heard it here first. So one of those pressure fighters that are going to pressure him, and they make him engage, they're going to catch up to him, and they're going to bust him.
Well, my opinion, Mchunu... Oh, you there, Eru?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Sorry, man. Yeah, what I'm saying is that, the guy who was fighting, it was the Nigerian guy, and what
South
I'm saying
African.
is that, he was Nigerian.
Is he?
Mchunu.
Yeah, he was Nigerian.
Yeah, Nigerian.
Yeah, he was Nigerian. The Matusa's South African, yeah? What I'm saying is that you're 5'8" in that weight class already. You're small, and really and true, you can't be too aggressive. So that's the way he's gonna fight. I agree.
No, Earl.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
5'8" in that weight class.
Let me interject for a minute.
Go ahead.
The white Muhammad Kawi was what? 5'7"?
6.
5 feet? No. He's about 5'6.5", 5'7".
Yeah.
All right, I grew up around the guy. All right.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him fight a protective fight like that?
No. But he's a different type of fighter.
Wait a minute. Style doesn't matter. Stature. They're making this guy Mchunu out to be the next Pernell Whitaker. He's not no Whitaker.
Yeah, but Dwight Muhammad Kari used to break weightlifting records in jail and stuff, man. And
No, bruh. Let me tell you something. I know the man personally. We was in reform school together for 3 years. I boxed his brother, Tony Braxton. I know the guy well. We was inside of those joints together. I was a kid. Growing up, we understand each other. He wasn't doing no weightlifting. He was a fighter. He was a fighter in the spirit. He would live in that institution, and nobody in that institution would fuck with him because he was a fighter in his mindset.
Did you see him fight James Scott?
Yeah, I saw him fight James Scott.
Okay.
That's something that went way back to that institution. Before they even fought, it was something that they went back to those institutions. Let me get back to let me get away from something. This guy, Mchunu, and I hope he's listening.
Yeah.
He's like trying to be the Cinderella man. He looked like a muscle-bound Cinderella man, He's not fighting. He wants everybody else to do the work, and he wants to counterpunch his way to decisions. He's not taking no chances. He's not taking no chances.
Yeah, but isn't boxing a game of wills? Like, it's the first person who feels they have to break that deadlock where they're looking for openings to counter and lead off.
I'm training Alexander Usyk, the 2012 gold medalist from the Ukraine.
What weight class is that?
Cruiserweight.
Okay, go on.
He's the 2012 heavyweight gold medalist from the Ukraine. And the question was presented to me, would he fight Mchunu? And I'm saying, no, we don't want to fight Mchunu because they're looking to move Usyk to a title fight early in his career. This guy got 400 amateur fights, so they're going to move him to the title early. They're not going to stay around. They're going to do what Holyfield did with Kawhi. You understand? Now, could you see Kawhi sitting back waiting for Holyfield to attack? No, Kawhi was taking the fight to Holyfield. He's the champ.
Yeah, but that's how they fought. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed that you wouldn't want your fighter to be able to dismantle every style. If that's what he's doing, then you cut the ring down in him. It's boxing. Like, you're supposed to tackle and embrace every style. Surely.
Don't mistake me. Don't mistake me. I'm a boxing coach, and I understand each style has a different approach. Each style has a different critique. Each style has a different application. But there's a difference in applying a style and goddamn boring people to death. Goddamn boring.
I didn't find him boring.
Boring.
I didn't find him boring. I thought he was an intelligent
That's what
fighter.
opinions are. That's what I respect that. That's what opinions are.
But he's coming from a different era. You're coming from the different era where you're used to exciting fighters, isn't it?
Look, I've seen a lot of short fighters that can box. But Mchunu is not boxing. He's just sitting back, resting on his back leg, just letting other people come into him, and I'll counterpunch you.
No, but he's landing punches, though.
Huh?
He's landing shots, though. He's landing.
Yeah.
I guess so. Could you eat if I brought the plate to you, or do you have to get up and go get the plate? Now, what happens to the guy that sits back and says, hell, I'm not going to do the same thing he's doing?
But that fight going to be terrible.
One person is going to have to lead, or it's going to be a draw.
Yeah, one has to engage. That, you know.
Mm-hmm. You take a guy that sits back like that there. If I took Usyk against him, I'll tell Usyk, don't do shit. Let him come to you. Don't do nothing. Usyk is tall enough to sit back and punch out him. He's got to have at least 3 inches in reach on him. Just sit back and let him come to you. And you be the counterpuncher. I could have did that with Chambers. I could have did it with him. I could have told Eddie to sit back. I saw what they were doing from the first round. I wanted to make a fight. This guy would not come out of his envelope.
But why should he? No disrespect. He won the fight convincingly. It was on Eddie. Like, if Eddie was going to come forward, it was on Eddie to make the adjustments. Why? I didn't see any reason that Mchunu had to.
Because Eddie Chambers is a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
I'm trying to force a counterpuncher to take the lead. You understand what I'm saying? I made Eddie act out of his nature. Go get this guy. This guy ducking and dodging and slipping and sliding through the ropes and stuff, ducking and dodging. I could have told Eddie, lay back and do the same thing he's doing.
Yeah, he should have.
That's how Jimmy Young beat Foreman.
Listen, but Jimmy Young was taking some. No. Jimmy Young was taking chances with Foreman. Jimmy Young was bopping and bipping and bopping and bipping. Mchunu's not doing that. Mchunu's laying back on that back foot. He's resting on his back leg and letting fighters come directly into him, and he's counterpunching. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I've given Mchunu too much time already. You know, I've given him too much time.
Okay,
you know,
we'll leave that. I definitely want to go back and forth for you another time with that. But
I'm not gonna put my guy with him until he got a belt. When he fights Usyk, he's gonna have to have a world title. Otherwise, we're not getting in it with him.
I agree with you. I agree with you because he's awkward. I agree with you. He's awkward and
awkward, ugly. He's already 2 feet tall. Then he's bending down. He's 1 feet tall. You got to go down to the floor to get to him. No, I ain't doing that again.
Just for the record, Mchunu, I love your style.
I interviewed Mchunu.
Just for the record, Mchunu, your style and you can take a walk. Your style, Mchunu, you and your style can take. Wait. Mchunu, you and your style can take a long walk up a short block. Okay.
I interviewed Mchunu, man. He's a cool guy, but I hear what you're saying. I agree.
No, he's a nice guy. I know.
Yeah, I know. We're only joking.
You know where I'm coming from. You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's leave that chapter.
But I got to get over to London to see my man over there. I don't think he lives. I think he lives in Sheffield.
Dylan? Who that?
No, Dylan's in Brixton.
Yeah. Who you gonna see? Sheffield. Which guy you gonna see?
Damn, man, I'm so bad. I got so much in my mind. I can't even remember his name.
Was he a boxer or a trainer?
The boxer, tall kid, just got beat by Brown.
Brown from Sheffield.
No, he got beat by Brown.
Recently.
What weight class?
Lucas Brown just beat him.
Oh, Richard Towers.
Oh, Richard Towers, man. Yo,
Yeah,
Richard Towers.
Richard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's your guy, right?
Ain't he a Londoner? He's a Londoner, isn't he?
Nah, he's from Sheffield. He just said, he's from Sheffield, bro.
Okay.
He's Ingle. He come out the Ingle gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love him to death. He's a good young man. I love him to death.
Yeah.
He's a good young man. I really love that guy.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, he needs looking after right now. His ego's been flattened, boy. Lucas, that's what's about Lucas and Eddie, man. I like to see that fight, man.
Eddie gonna take him to school.
But that's what I want to see.
When Eddie finishes with him, they're gonna have to untangle him. He's gonna be tied up in knots.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be a terrible thing for Lucas to do.
Yeah.
He's gonna get tied up. He's gonna get his ass whooped. I'm telling you, Eddie. I know Eddie Chambers like a book. He gonna whoop that ass, but I'm telling you.
I agree.
Lucas shouldn't be able to beat somebody with the pedigree that Eddie has. And the company that Eddie's mixed in. Shouldn't be able to beat him.